Smoke still lingered over King's Landing, the echoes of war replaced by uneasy silence. The battle was won, but the scars remained. Deep within the Red Keep, Tyrion Lannister awoke in a darkened chamber, the sharp sting of pain in his face, a reminder of Sir Mandon Moore's treacherous attack. He reached up, feeling the bandages that covered his wound. Memories of Blackwater came in flashes, the roar of wildfire, the screams of dying men, and his own near death. But as his vision adjusted, the realization struck him. He was no longer in his grand chambers. The Hand's chain was gone. Tywin Lannister had arrived in the city as its savior, assuming the title of Hand and casting Tyrion aside. Only Shae, his lover, remained by his side, whispering that he was still in danger. Elsewhere in the castle, the throne room was filled with celebration. Joffrey Baratheon sat upon the Iron Throne, golden curls gleaming under the torchlight as he rewarded his allies. Pater Baelish was granted Harrenhal for brokering the alliance with the Tyrells, and Joffrey, at his mother's urging, cast aside his betrothal to Sansa Stark to wed Margaery Tyrell instead. Sansa, at first relieved, soon realized she was no closer to freedom. Littlefinger approached her, his voice smooth and knowing, offering her a way out. But his words carried the weight of something darker, something she was not yet ready to understand. Across the narrow sea in Korth, Daenerys Targaryen stood before the House of the Undying. Pyat Pree had stolen her dragons, and she would not leave without them. She stepped into the strange, twisting halls, visions swirling before her eyes, a ruined iron throne, snow falling through the shattered ceiling, a vast plain of white, and then, most painfully, Khal Drogo. Alive, holding the son they had lost. The sight nearly broke her, but she forced herself forward. At last, she found her dragons, chained and helpless. Pyat Pree appeared, whispering that she must stay forever, but Daenerys was no fool. In Valyrian, she commanded, Dracarys. Fire erupted from the mouths of her dragons, engulfing Pyat Pree in flames. Returning to Xaro Xhoan Daxos's palace, Daenerys found betrayal once more. Xaro, who had promised her riches, was nothing but a fraud. She ordered his vault to be opened, only to find it empty. Without mercy, she sealed Xaro and the treacherous Doreah inside, leaving them to die in the darkness. With what little wealth she could gather, she set her sights on the journey ahead. In Winterfell, the siege was over, but the castle was in ruin. Theon Greyjoy, who had taken the Stark stronghold in an act of reckless ambition, found himself trapped. He rallied his men, speaking of glory and defiance. But his own men turned on him. In the dead of night, they struck him down and delivered him to the Bolton forces. Hidden beneath the castle in the crypts, Bran, Rickon, Osha, and Hodor emerged to find their home in ashes. Among the devastation, they found Maester Luwin gravely wounded. With his last breaths, he urged them to flee, to seek safety beyond Winterfell's ruined gates. With heavy hearts, they obeyed, vanishing into the wild. Far to the north, Jon Snow trudged through the snow, a prisoner of the wildlings. At his side, Qhorin Halfhand, a veteran ranger, whispered the plan only Jon could carry out. The wildlings needed to believe Jon had turned against the Night's Watch. When the moment came, Qhorin attacked. They clashed, steel ringing against steel, until Jon drove his sword into the man's chest. Qhorin's final words were lost in the wind. The wildlings, now convinced of Jon's loyalty, led him onward to meet Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall. Elsewhere, Arya Stark, Gendry, and Hot Pie had fled Harrenhal with Jaqen H'ghar's help. The mysterious assassin found Arya one last time, offering her a coin and a phrase. Valar Morghulis. If ever you need me, he told her, give this to a man from Braavos. Then before her eyes, his face changed, his very features shifting like a mask. And with that, he was gone. In the cold darkness of the Fist of the First Men, Samwell Tarly and his fellow brothers of the Night's Watch struggled through the deep snow. The air was still, save for their labored breathing. Then the sound they dreaded came, a horn blast. Once, twice, a third time. Sam's heart clenched in terror. 3 blasts, the White Walkers. He stumbled, seeking cover behind a rock, but nothing could shield him from what he saw next. A vast army of whites marched forward, their lifeless eyes glowing a pale, unnatural blue. At their head, a White Walker astride an undead horse gazed down upon the world of the living. Sam could do nothing but watch as the dead advanced toward the wall. The long night was coming.